Peace and blessings to you. Hope you're having a wonderful, blessed day. On this sunny afternoon, or slightly wet, wet evening, I am currently in Rawalpindi and I am in Defence Housing Authority Area 2. The Defence Housing Authority area is an army housing scheme, very famous within these parts as well, because it has 24-hour security and many of the Western style of amenities that me and you are used to. And today I am with my friend, Mr. Waqar Azam. Say hello, Waqar.
Hello, Sagar.
Tell the whole world who you are, Waqar.
Well, I'm Waqar Azam from England, born and bred there. I worked within Bradford and community organisations. Then I went on to develop the Al-Hikmah Centre project in Batley, and after that I worked for the local government in Kirklees.
And one thing I like about lovely people is they're very humble. This, guys, ladies and gents, is a Queen's Award winning entrepreneur. Tell them about that award, Waqar.
The award was by Prince Charles. The visit was of congratulations was by Prince Charles, but the award was the Duke of York Award, so that was by Prince Andrew. For the Best Practices Organisation, I applied in 1998, I think, and we got it, and I didn't apply again. I left the organisation, and because of the setup, everything else, the organisation received the award for 4 years in a row. So,
SubhanAllah.
mashallah.
And that was by Waqar doing along with the team. There's always a team, isn't there?
Obviously. Yeah.
Always a team. And Waqar came to Pakistan how many years ago, Waqar?
Next month on the 20th, it'll be 7 years. 7 years.
And you came to visit, and what happened?
I decided to stay. And mashallah, it's a different lifestyle to the UK. A lot of differences. But slowly, you acclimatize and you get used to it and you start getting along.
And 7 years later, he's been involved in real estate.
Yeah.
He's involved in legal work as well. So make sure people are not being naughty, especially those that are going to the UK. And we're going to go on a little tour. But just before we go on a little tour, off camera, you were saying, Waqar, how many people are leaving Pakistan during 2023?
Well, last year was the second highest amount. I think it was almost 90,000 people that left. This year is predicted to be 2.4 million. And by June, from what I remember hearing, it was end of June, it was 100.
More or less.
No, it's 1.4 million people that are gone. Because they're talking lakhs here and, crores. So you kind of have to go back to thousands and millions to tell a UK audience.
People say to me, how many canal? And I'm like, what are you talking about? How many rupees? And I'm like, divide it by 352.
Exactly.
Quickly grab a calculator. And all these people, hopefully they're not emptying Rawalpindi, but they are disappearing from various parts of Pakistan. And the main reasons by Waqar are...
Right, okay, it's, because we get clients that not only poor, I mean, you expect a poorer client to go to make a better life for themselves, but it's not the case anymore. It's the case of even the rich people actually going. We had a client, it was about 6 months ago, who wanted to go to Canada, entrepreneurial visa, and he had to show 600,000. He showed his bank account, he had £2 million in his bank account. He said, why do you want to go? And he said, there's just too much uncertainty. So I'm not going to live there. I just want the citizenship for myself and my children. And then we've got the option to go whenever thing goes wrong. It kind of tells you, the kind of dire sort of thinking at this stage, at this moment in time in Pakistan. It's there's a lot of hopelessness for the poorer people, even for the salaried classes. They're finding it extremely difficult. So they just see this idea that the grass is greener on the other side, and they just want to leave. And what they're going to face there, obviously, us being expats or having been born outside Pakistan, we realize how difficult it is for these people. But they've got no, they don't have any other hope. So they're just willing to go for it. It's a sad state of affairs, actually. Sad.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for everyone. However, we were also chatting about that when those people were leaving in the 1940s and the 1950s for various reasons, it was often single young men that were leaving Pakistan. But you were saying this time the opportunities are different because...
Right, okay. I mean, there's a lot of programs that have become available for people to go out of the country other than students. Even though students are doing, there's a massive amount of students across the country that go, it has hundreds of thousands, each year. So, and that's just from where we work in Rawalpindi. There's about 300 consultants that are working there, so you can just imagine, how many people are from around the country.
But specifically, Waqar, you were saying that families are able to go together, which is very different.
Yes, for the master's program, the families can go, so they take the whole family. But there's also programs like work visas and so on. They allow families, and that's become a major choice for people to take, because they can take the whole family, and that's it. They're out. They've got the kids being educated abroad, everything else, and they can just go for it. Without having to worry about, back home, sending money back home, doing all sorts of stuff back home.
Okay. And guys, if you want to get in touch with Waqar, specifically here in Pakistan, okay, what he said was off camera, tell people your phone number, your Pakistani phone number, Waqar.
I
don't remember it.
I can't remember it.
Okay, I shall put it in the comments below. But one thing I will tell you is that if you're subscribed to this channel and you're watching it and you like it and you share it, show it to Waqar that you are subscribed as well, and you will definitely have a discounted price on whatever it is that you do. So make sure you mention the name, and the name is Javed Khan. So Waqar, let's go for a little tour. So you came here 7 years ago.
I did.
All right, and we're going to take people on a little tour, and we're just going to show them around about where you get your shopping from, how much it is, how much it costs, what people are like, where the best tea is, where the best coffees are. Sure. And show them generally around DHA too. So let's go.
Let's go.
You can see a whole load of different shops. If you want your vape, you can go down there. And if you want a bit of Northwest Frontier, you can have a bit of hot dog. Mind you, there's always a bit of crunchy chicken, which probably won't be 99p. So, Waqar, so you've been in this area for about 4.5 months?
Yes, I have. I shifted about 4.5 months ago. Okay. I'm very impressed with the security here, especially for people that are from abroad. Absolutely excellent for people, residents over here. I mean, we literally leave our doors open when we go to the shops. Not a problem. But there's also, I mean, it's nice and clean, compared to. I used to live in Rawalpindi before. And although it's on the edges of Islamabad, it was
okay, so it was on the edges of Islamabad.
Yeah, there's still obviously the smells. There's all the things that you encounter.
Oh goodness!
Yeah.
Pollution?
Yeah, sure. But over here, there's nothing like that. It's the more richer people actually live in the DHA. It's a lot more expensive. Even the groceries here, everything will set you back. 5, 10, 15% more compared to other parts of Islamabad, and definitely there's a difference, massive difference between Rawalpindi.
And on the corner here, a very nice bakery and coffee house as well. And as it says at the top, MashaAllah. And like usual, Waqar, real estate everywhere.
There is over here. Yes, big business.
Big business. And there's a Giga Mall project, an attractive investment for overseas Pakistanis. And the masjid is hiding behind the beautiful greenery. It looks like the entrance is a little distance away. And Waqar is very naughty. He's lived here for 4.5 months. And he says he does not know where the masjid is. Which reminds me when I was in the Ukraine, and I met a 28-year-old that says, I can read the kalima, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. I am aware that I am a Muslim, but that's all I know. And that was in the Ukraine. So it's time for Salam. Inshallah. How beautiful. MashaAllah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the efforts of those that have contributed to this masjid. And for those of you that are not aware, Muslims testifying the kalima, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. They read their prayers 5 times daily, and they give 2.5% of their wealth towards charity. They fast in the month of Ramadan, and they visit Mecca, Hajj, or do Hajj once in a lifetime. As we just leave the masjid. So, Waqar, one of the areas of your work is like real estate, right? You, mashallah, help lots and lots of people. And if I just flip the camera around, this is one of the Giga Group's projects, where in Islamabad and Rawalpindi, we just go higher and higher and higher, right? Because it's cheaper to go higher and higher, and there's huge demand. And there's lots of other projects as well. So people like myself, Waqar, as we're standing in the middle of the road and about to get knocked over, so let's move a little further forward. So for people like me, Brits like me, and you're a Pakistani Brit now, right? Because you're based here. People like me will face challenges, right? Okay, in the real estate market, and the reputation is sometimes tarnished. Okay, yes. What sort of advice would you give to sort of like people like me if I want to come and do something here in Pakistan?
Well, one of the main things I would do is make sure that property that's well reputable. For example, depends barrier, but not only these, because they can be quite expensive. There's other very good property that you can buy, but it has to be a good reputable. Don't listen to relatives that tell you that you can buy this and it'll triple the price and all the rest of it in a sort of like a low class society, or an area that's not well developed. It doesn't matter how much information you get, because there's other issues that you think about, really, and you will not at the end of it. There's been so many countless cases of issues. So yeah, just make sure that it's a reputable company that you're buying from.
Okay. So once again, there's a lot of information there, right? So what would you say in like top 3 tips, top hottest tips for an overseas investor? Number 1, do what?
Well, research different reputable projects.
Great.
And other prices. Look at what the potential is, why the potential doesn't go up, why do you build in that area, what's coming in the future, and remember, some things are just rumours that spread that aren't real. So you've got to really look into it.
Sure.
What you don't do is just listen to one relative that says buy here and triple the price or whatever. This is what happened for the last 3 years, so it's going to happen again. Don't do that.
Sure. There's a lot of tips there, definitely more than 3. But thank you for that, Waqar. So, obviously, you're fairly local now, right? So, Rawalpindi is the 4th largest city in Pakistan. It's generally known as the village of the lakes, as we get hit by a car that's coming from the other side. The pressure horns, 20 of them at me in the last 100 meters. And Rawalpindi is one of the twin cities, right?
Yes.
Okay, Islamabad is, Rawalpindi is the poorer, Islamabad is the more richer brother. Yes. Okay, what do the locals say? Almost like a Bradford, Leeds thing, Manchester, Liverpool thing, right? What do the locals say about Islamabad and Rawalpindi?
obviously, Islamabad people, they're very proud of the fact that they're Islamabadians and they feel of themselves a bit more elite.
Oh.
And they actually make it, make a point of saying it. But one thing I found is that, Pindi, Rao Pindi boy, they call them the Pindi boys.
The Pindi boys.
Because they're quite proud of their heritage as well.
Okay.
And so they're not intimidated by this
Okay.
at all.
So the guys from Islamabad will go and buy the car directly from the Toyota franchise, and the guys from Rawalpindi will go and buy a car and put expensive wheels on it, right?
Yes. Yes. Pindi boys.
MashaAllah. I said to one of the guys, this is words not from me, this is what he said. I said, so you guys are Islamabadis, right? Okay. So the guys are Pindiwal. I said, I've heard that quite regularly. So I said, what's the difference? And he said, these are his words, by the way, right? He said, the guys from Islamabad, he said, they're mummies and daddies' children.
Yes.
I went, oh, okay. And I said, what about the Pindiwals? And he said, they're complete junglis. And I said, you can't say that. And he said, look, Rawalpindi, right, or was it Islamabad? He said, look, was a jungle before we amalgamated. So he was attempting to justify the difference between Islamabad and Rawalpindi. So in terms of, I might have just said that the wrong way around, right, Waqar, because Islamabad was developed later. Is that right?
Yes.
Please correct me.
Yes, Rawalpindi is developed first. And it was, I think, 1950s or 60s.
Okay.
When the Prime Minister came over and chose this as Islamabad as a capital because Karachi was too easy to, for enemies to,
Well, now we're going back in history. Oh my goodness. As we fall down the stairs, nearly fall down the stairs. Okay, so they're not junglis.
They've got their own personalities.
MashaAllah.
But they both are proud of their own sort of backgrounds, culture, and so on. And I think that, throughout the world, it's not. I think there's quite a lot of positive attitude towards lads that are slightly, off the edge. So I think the baby boys, they do quite well.
Okay, I think we're getting into dangerous territory now because we don't want to label anyone. So as they say in Liverpool, you'll never walk alone. All right, or as they'll say in Manchester, you're either a blue or you're a red. So it must be very similar. We'll have to find some genuine. We're Yorkshire flat guys, right? Okay, we'll have to find some genuine guys from Islamabad, right, and some genuine guys from Rawalpindi, and have a real chat. And I wonder what the historians will tell us. So it's post Maghrib time, and we're just round the corner from Waqar's house. And like all good Pakistani people, they love to eat. One chapati place. 2 chapati places. The Karachi Naseeb Biryani Hilal Center, and they make chapatis too.